Good afternoon, everybody. You're welcome. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. You're welcome to today's session. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome from whatever parts of the continent you're watching us from. You're welcome. Please, if you can hear me, notify me. If you can hear me, notify me. You are welcome. You are welcome. If you can hear me, kindly notify me. If you can see me, notify me. You're welcome. Mofolusha Obisoya, you are welcome. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining in today's session. You're welcome. I would like to see one more person also notify me that you can hear me. Yes. So I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to have the session with you. And today we're having one of our product education sessions. And I'm still waiting for somebody to tell. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you can also share this link to other people so they can watch us, so they understand what we are discussing. So without wasting much of our time today, my name is Quincy Ademola, and I'm the Digital Education Assistant Manager of EdUTAMS. And EdUTAMS is the school and learning management solution, which has three major products. We have the EdUTAMS Pro, which is the school management solution, school and learning management solution for the universities, colleges of education, tertiary institutions generally. Then EdUTAMS Essential, which is a platform for public schools. And currently in Ogun State, it is called Ojisera Diaper. And we have EdUTAMS Basic, which is for the private K-12 schools, that's nursery and primary schools, nursery, primary, and secondary schools. Yep, I'm sorry. So without wasting much of our time today, we are discussing a particular topic that really interests me. It is called Leveraging EdUTAMS Learning Management System or Learning Management Solution Platform for Positive Learning Outcomes in Schools. So when we talk about that, we know that, okay, EdUTAMS, like I said, is a school and learning management platform. So we are discussing the learning management platform part of it now. And when we say that, that means we are trying to see how it can help foster and improve learning outcomes in our various schools. So I'm not going to be doing this alone. And of course, we won't want to waste much of our time as usual, the way we do it. I'm not doing this alone today. I have with me a guest in the house, and it's so nice to have her because she alone, she's one man, one woman rather. So she is an embodiment of knowledge, and she's also one of our school administrators of that uses technology in their schools. So please make welcome with me, Mrs. Mudupe Gomina, the head head mistress of Rehoboth New Well Schools at Belkuta. Hello, Mrs. Gomina. Hello, ma.
Good afternoon,
Hello, ma.
everyone.
Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon. You're
Afternoon,
welcome. Good
afternoon. How
afternoon.
with you?
Yeah, you're
Can you hear
welcome.
me?
Thank you for joining. Yes, I can hear you. I can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Okay,
you. Thank
thank
you for
you.
joining us. I know you are so busy. I know you're so busy. You're still in school and everything, but because you really want to share your knowledge with us, that is why you are doing this with us. So we won't waste much of your time to we'll dive right into it. So today we are going to be
Yes.
taking it in two segments. Since you know I have my guest already in the building, it's not only me. So we are going to be discussing. I'm going to be asking Mrs. Gomina some questions because she's managing that time for us, and I'm going to be asking her the questions direct because our school uses the learning management platform for their learning outcomes. So we're going to be asking her practical questions that she has that they've practical questions that would embody everything that they've done so far. We can learn our practical strategies and everything. So, Mrs. Gomino, are you ready for me? I can
Yes,
hear
yes.
you. All right, all right. So I have this very unique question. I will just dive right in. So this first question I have is says, how has EdUTAMS shaped your teaching and learning? How has it shaped your teaching and learning? Because I understand that as a school administrator yourself, there's been different ways you've been doing it before, and now with the advent of technology, you're already doing it some other ways. So I'm going to be asking you to how has it been from the traditional method and now how has it shaped the entire system for you? And if you wouldn't mind to give us some specific examples on how it has made learning more engaging for your students.
Thank you for the privilege for coming online to the program. I can say it's been a worthwhile since we started the journey with EdUTAMS for the past 4 years. So the story has changed, and there are many things that have changed in our educational system. So now we are going digital. So we have less of paperwork. We have most of our work on the cloud. So, and it's really helped us to have this effective and efficient uh, data for everything that we do, for the student records, the lesson notes, the results, and it gets everyone involved on it because Elephant is a platform that allows both you can many users. The interface allows many users to go through. They have their own roles there. So the parents also, the teachers, the admin, it's different easy and seamless into to you. So once you started the journey with exams, it's been a fantastic journey. So there are things that we do before that we no longer do. So we are now, I can say we now work, we now do our things on e-learning, and it makes it stress-free. It's stress-free, and it's been an awesome journey anyway. Let me just put it like that. It was awesome, and everything was going on fine with
All right. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Wow.
Restart it.
Wow.
It helps her learn how to make and efficient for both teachers, the learners, the parents.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, ma, for that. So, I am aware that you're a school administrator, so you have administrative works. When it even comes to learning, that means definitely you want to go through all of the lesson notes. We know we've just resumed a new term, and as it is customs in schools, um, schools will naturally get administrators will get the lesson notes and lesson plans of all of these teachers. They want to review, they want to check is it in line with what we are doing, they want to approve. And you know how bulky those papers is, because for a class you have so many. And sometimes you won't even, it's so strenuous, you won't even have time to do other things. So I want to ask you, how was EdUTAMS how has the learning management system on the EdUTAMS platform simplified your administrative work? Did you get my
Okay,
question, ma'am?
it really simplified it in terms of, yes, I can. Yes, I get it. So I said it really helped us because now we have our lesson notes, we can access our lesson notes very easy at any time and anywhere. So it's just like a lesson note bank for the teachers. So that's the aspect of teachers. And as an admin, for you, it makes it very easy for you to access the lesson notes, to mark it, to see probably okay, to label the lesson note and to know if truly they so it makes it easy for you to lesson note to mark it. And also it makes the teachers to be acquainted with the learning of the game, the modern and learning. So I can say that the has really helped in terms of in terms of submission, because the accurate you can access it anytime, anywhere. And it makes it easy for me as an admin. I can really say can access all the lesson notes at home. I don't need to be carrying papers all around. I need to carry a load of paper in my bag to, so I can just access it there. During the weekend, I can note it at my own convenient time. I can approve lesson notes and mark it set at any point in time if I'm with my laptop. So it makes it easier for me as an administrator to be able to access the lesson to mark anywhere, anytime. And on the part of the teachers, it makes it easy for them to get acquainted to it because, for example, now you could have a teacher that left school, so we don't have to be nervous. Okay, we are looking for one record, we're looking for one paper, we're looking for the old lesson. Instead of the guy, just access to get access to the old lesson notes on time. So it really helps. So we don't need to be afraid of it. We lose a teacher. How are we going to how are we going to work on our lesson note? Are we going to start from the beginning? No. We just access it directly on the through the EdUTAMS platform. So it really works well for me because I don't carry papers all around. I can access the lesson notes anywhere at any time. That is it to approve it. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. You said something that really interests me, and I think you're talking from the perspective of, since you've used the platform for about 4 years, like you said. You said you don't bother, you don't, it's not strenuous for you, and you don't think, because even when you lose a teacher, you know that the lesson note is available for the students. So the next time you don't need to start running your scatter, because you already
Yes.
have lesson notes already. So that's amazing actually, because it takes off the stress of we understand about the teacher scarcity going on currently right now in the economy. So it doesn't it puts your mind at rest that even when the teachers are currently not around, probably something happened, the teacher leaves the school, you have something to rely on. The students
Yes.
have a lesson to rely on. So that's amazing. I really like that. I
Yes.
really like that. So that takes me to the next question. So I would like you as an administrator to give us
Okay.
maybe one or two tips for improving learning outcomes using EdUTAMS learning management system. Since you've been using it for 4 years, that means you've gotten acquainted with the flow, with everything. So can you give us few tips on how to improve learning outcomes using EdUTAMS learning management system? Hello, Ma, you there?
Okay.
Did
I
you get my
said,
question?
yeah, that EdUTAMS is an interface that we have many users. Yes, I get it. I get it. So it's, I can say number one is simple assessment. You are able to work once convenient time yourself. So it's to improve the learning on both the teacher's part, the admin, and the pupils. So there, I can say very, I can assure that when we have an assessment to any document we have online, our learning activities, and also have involvement. Our parents, when they join the activities, they feel so good to run along, and this is the only platform I'm concerned that that carries the parents along also in what in their children's academic performance in school. Because as a school, we use every time for all these quiz and some assessments, some simple assessments in class. So and it makes us to know where we are, even as a teacher, to know, okay, are we really progressing? Are we getting it? So and parents are also involved in all these things. So and it's also helped in the time duration because when you are giving this online quiz, it helps them to work more on themselves, to be smart in asking questions, in giving answers to some of these questions. It's as anything you want learning is going to help you and you will get the effective things that the effective results that you want. So if you've not been using all this platform, all these quiz, using it as probably we project it in class for the pupils or the students to see, I think it's high time we start making use of this thing, and it's really helped. It's really helped in improving our learning and teaching activities in class.
Thank you very much. So I think I was drafting out some points as you were talking. You were talking about how it's you were saying tips
Okay.
on it, like it helps with parental involvement. That means parents also get involved in their learners in their words learning. You also mentioned how using quizzes, homeworks, and the others. Then you also mentioned something. You said it helps with time management. That means the teachers can effectively manage their time, that their 40 minutes or 45 minutes period. So that's amazing. It's really amazing. So I have two more questions. So let me take one out of it. So okay. So I think our network is okay. So one other question here I
Okay.
have says, what common challenges should school expect and how to confront them? That means what I'm saying is when they want to use the edit times, when they want to use the LMS now, like challenges around private society, it depends on you know what I mean with the school system. So what common challenges you would have encountered one or two challenges when you wanted to start? Then how did you confront them? What common challenges should schools expect and how do they confront them? Hello, Ma,
Okay,
are
I
you
can
there?
say one of the main challenges are can
Your voice is breaking.
Can you hear
Your
me?
voice is breaking. Yes, now I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
I think it's the okay. So I think one of the major challenge is okay. I think one of the major challenges is training your staff because there's many now that staff
Sorry, I can't hear you clearly. It's a bit low.
school now when you started it used to be okay. Can you hear me very well?
Okay, yes, ma.
Hello.
Yes, yes, ma.
Okay. I said one of the major problem is okay getting your staff trained
Okay.
because there are many schools their teachers are not they don't know much about internet or they some are not even computer literate. So the number one thing is to get your teachers on board to involve them. So the training is always somehow difficult when you want to start it. But I can say it may not be easy, but it's worth it at the end. So it's really worth it. And also, some challenges is the issue of laptops. Laptops for schools that don't have enough laptops. Even when we started in my own school, we have some systems before, but we need to get more. So you need to get more systems because you're going to it's going to help. So the most important one is getting your staff trained and the teachers willing and ready to work and to go under the training. But I know that with EdUTAMS, that shouldn't be a problem because once you're on board EdUTAMS, they came around to train our staffs. They came around to train our staffs for I think like 2 sessions like that. And before you know it, everyone is ready to go. So
Wow.
I don't think the training should be a problem. So once you have the right guidance from the EdUTAMS, can surmount any problem around it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So our last question before we move to the next section and we can release you. Thank you so much. So the next question says, what are the things schools should put in place when considering integrating the the LMS to its process? What are the things schools should put in place when considering integrating LMS to its process? Did you get the question, ma?
Uh, they must
Your network
have
is breaking. Your network is breaking, ma.
yes, yes. So one of the
Okay, we can hear you now.
uh, okay, I think one of the things that should be in place is okay. One of the things that should be in place by the school is the computer system.
Okay.
So and they must have an access to internet to probably get router or to connect for flow and work for this. Also, the school should be ready to subscribe to every terms. When subscribed, they can now come for the training and that is those things that should be on ground. But before you even call it, you must have your STEM and your I mean your computer, your laptop, anyone that you use. So you have your laptop and also access to internet. So that's for when you're able to succeed, you are able to edit that.
All right. Thank you very much. So I'm going to just summarize what you said because your network was breaking in between so that our viewers can understand what you're saying. So we asked her what was the common challenges as schools should expect, and
Okay.
she said that challenges are of resistance to change. That's for staff. Some of them are not acquainted with using any tools, any technological tools. So at first, it's always a bit difficult, but you should try to ensure that your staffs can be trained. Reach out to EdUTAMS unit, and I think that falls in my unit. They are going to train you, and when they train you, then of course you are good to go. Then the next question we asked her, she said, was what are the things schools should put in place when considering integrating the LMS to its process? She said that schools should start looking for means to get gadgets. And I think one thing, when she says gadgets, you're talking about laptop, your phones, and of course, teachers will definitely have mobile phones, projectors, access to internet, so that your teachers, everybody can easily utilize the LMS. And she said, then of course, when you subscribe to the platform, the EdUTAMS team will definitely come down to train you. So I think I have summarized that. And let me also summarize our other questions. She was saying, what are the benefits for her? That there are benefits for her because when school teachers leave the school, she doesn't need to go through traumas. That they have been using the platform for 4 years. And she said it also helps parental involvement because the parents are involved also in their child's learning, and they can go along using the quizzes, the lesson notes, and as much as possible. Thank you so much, Mrs. Going on for this amazing session. Thank you so much, and I think
Welcome.
our viewers also would appreciate it because I'm sure they've learned one or two things. And before we dive right into the second session, thank you so much, Ma. We release you. Thank you so much. Mrs. Gomino has to leave now, so because
Thank
she had
you.
to squeeze in her schedule. Thank you so much, Ma, for coming to our show. Thank you so much. So please do have a great day ahead, Ma. Thank you so much. So, that was Mrs. Gomina Mudupe that was telling us she's a school administrator of Rehoboth New Wells Schools in Abeokuta. They've been using the platform for over 4 years, and they've been using the learning management system to integrate their entire learning process and improve learning outcomes. Now, this takes me to the next section. We have just 30 more minutes of our webinar. Now, permit me to present my slide. So, here I'm going to be talking more on how you can leverage the EdUTAMS LMS platform. Mrs. Gobino has given us all of the juicy offers and the values she has gotten, and the practical ways you can implement it. Now, this is now saying, okay, how? She has given us practical strategies and tips. Now we are saying, how do you do that? What are the major challenges that even made us think of all of this? What are the major challenges that schools themselves are actually facing when we talk about their traditional learning, before talking about even the learning management? Now here I'm talking about the leveraging EdUTAMS and learning management system platform for improved learning outcomes in schools. Now, this takes me to the first thing. Here we talk about what are the challenges with the traditional learning. The first challenge that we have in the traditional learning is the limited access to learning resources. Usually, you see schools, you see everybody start struggling to get scheme of work when the term is about to resume. Everybody start trying to get library, and of course, we know that libraries are not that much in our environment. Everybody start going to get books, get resources, and everything, and it's usually very limited. So it always is always stressful. And what the second challenge also we have is it is usually time consuming for the administrative task, and it poses limited monitoring. When I said time consuming, Mrs. Gomino mentioned something. She said now she doesn't have to have bulk of notes to review the lesson notes of the entire teachers, that she can review all of it anywhere she is using her mobile phone, any part of the country she is in. So she doesn't necessarily have to carry the bulk loads of books for the whole of primary one class lesson notes, primary two class lesson notes. It is usually time consuming, and she can easily monitor all of this. And that is because the normal traditional learning, you cannot do all of these things. It's usually bulky and stressful for the administrative staff when they want to review all of our lessons. And also, I talked about that we say limited flexibility. Usually, the challenges with traditional learning is it is This is not flexible. It is not flexible. Then the last point of my challenge here I have here is it usually lacks data-driven insights. And as teachers, as school or administrators, we do everything we do in school, policies we make, the subject, everything we do, it is based on data. We get data so to know that okay, are the students learning outcomes improving, what instructional materials do I need to change, and so on and so forth. Now this takes us to now the EdUTAMS learning management system overview. What does this thing as? Now, EdUTAMS learning management system has seen all of these challenges. The one for the data, the lack of data driven, the one for lack of monitoring, lack of flexibility, and so on and so forth, lack of time consuming for administrative staff. Now it has come to give us this few benefits. And we say, how? It gives us the automated lesson planning. That means you can have all of your lesson plans. They are all online. It's automated. Learning analytics for teachers that at the end of the time, they can get to know the student's performance and make informed decision. Yes, there is seamless communication. That's class interaction between teachers and students. Also, because it's also a very comprehensive digital platform and it is user friendly, it has user friendly interfaces, and the learning tools are amazing. We have the likes of the lesson notes, the homework, the simulation, and so on and so forth. Now, this takes me to what is now the impact on learning outcomes. Now, the impact on learning outcomes is this: we understand that children have different learning styles. They have different ways they want to learn. They have different learning paths. Now, the major aim of technology in education for students is to make sure that learning is personalized for every student. And this is one of the impacts. It makes sure that there's personalized learning paths for learners. We have the continuous assessment. What do we use continuous assessment for? Assessments, we have two major types of assessment: the formative assessment and the summative assessment. We use it to make informed decisions. We use it to know, okay, from this week 1 to week 7, as learning be achieved. Usually we say learning, it can be said to be achieved if there is a change in behavior, or preferably we will say if there is a positive change in behavior. Now, how do we now measure that? That is continuous assessment. And also, few of the impacts also on learning outcomes is it usually increases engagement, students' engagement. Students want to engage because it is something that is different. Students are captured with, learners are usually captured with pictures, they're captured with things, because this current age is a digital age. So anything that involves digitizing it, students are naturally, learners are naturally captured. Now, this takes me to the next thing on my page, which says, what are the key features of EdUTAMS learning management system? The first one here I have is the accessibility of lesson notes. And the reason why I use the word accessibility is you can access this lesson notes either online or offline. That means you do not necessarily need to be online to be able to read your lesson notes. You can download all of it. The teachers can access it, the students can access it, the parents can access it. Everybody can collaborate to make sure that learning is achieved. And the second feature here I have is the CBT quiz assessment. For me, I really love this. Why? Because it gives me the opportunity to choose, okay, do I want my because it's CBT, doesn't mean it has to be A, B, C, D. It doesn't mean it has to be just multiple choice. It gives me the opportunity to say, okay, I want it to be a true or false. I want it to be, the tiles should be shapes so that it can capture children in the nursery section, and so on and so forth. Okay, I want to make sure that I want to measure time duration. How fast can my learners quickly answer this question? You can do all of that with the CBT quiz assessment. Then we have the theory and essay writing. We understand that while CBT is limited, we are limited to a specific range of answers. We have some students that they want to express themselves the more. They want to show you that they understand beyond what you think they really understand. And that is the part where we have the theory and essay writing. We call it on the platform homework. We also have live classes. Look at the imagine the time when COVID was rampant. How would you have reached out to your students if they were not live classes? Imagine the long holidays we had. That's the third term holiday to start a new session. That's 6 weeks. So a whole 6 weeks gap, not having not being not having contact with your learners and to keep in touch with them. So that is one of the reasons why we have live classes, which is one of the key features on the platform. Then we also have video resources. That means this video resources comes in two forms. So I, for one, I can choose to have a video that I have created, and I did it on my mobile phone and I push it online, and I want my learners to have access to it, like I push it to their platform so they have the access to it. Or I see a particular video resource content, probably on YouTube, and I would want my learners to see it. I would want them to enjoy from it. I want them to benefit from it. Definitely, I can infuse it into the platform and my learners will have access to it. Then the last one here is FET simulations. And from the word simulation, simulation is the abstract of reality. This makes learners to be able to play around. They can play around whatever they want to play around, and it gives them an abstract to what is real, which is might not necessarily be real. The instance of physics laboratory, of course, we know how expensive using the physics laboratory, having physics laboratory and student chemistry laboratory, student want to do titration. They waste the first acid and base, they waste the second acid and base. Why not give them something that will make them feel like they're actually doing it? And of course, it is just they're experiencing it. Usually, some of people in the education they say inquiry-based learning. So they inquire, they want to see more, and they try it on their own. And it's also a form of game. Now, this takes me to the next thing. All of these features we've talked about, what are the values for school administrators? Now, the first value I have here is it makes school administrators to have an oversight, efficient oversight. That means from my phone, I can monitor everybody in the platform. I can monitor every teacher. I can monitor the teacher that's prepared his or her lesson plan. I can monitor, okay, are the students, is this lesson plan currently live? Are the students currently reading it? I can see the ratings. I can know, okay, this lesson plan is not up to date. One other very important thing also is efficient lesson approvals. So if I do not approve it as a school administrator or probably the director of studies, then the students cannot have access to it, because that means there needs to be correction from the part of the teacher. So I'm telling the teacher, go and recorrect this. If this is fine, then I can approve it. So just like the normal way where everybody will submit their lesson notes and the administrator begins to mark, make corrections, and so on and so forth. Now, the third value I have here is the data-driven decision making. Like I said, everything we do in school, in education, is based on data. We cannot have efficient educational system without data. So as a school administrator, I am seeing the data of the learning of GSS 1A going well and GSS 1B not going well. I know there needs to be adjustments to be done. I need to review the instructional materials. So this is just what that data is telling me. And automated reporting. Automated reporting, I can get every report. I can communicate. I can report. I can get report directly just from the platform. Now, this is just few of the values for school administrators. Now, what are the values of leveraging on the EdUTAMS learning management system platform for teachers? Now, it is time saving for teachers, because I cannot imagine having like a whole 3 notebook, write it, and the next session I will write it again. It is usually frustrating, and it's stressful. So for using the EdUTAMS LMS platform, it is time saving. Then we also have enhanced interactions. That means interactions can be enhanced between my students and myself as a teacher. We can know what we can discuss. We can, okay, yes, ma, I do not understand paragraph 3 of lesson 2. Oh, Tolu, I get it. Now this is what it means. This is what it means. So that means teachers can communicate with students. Likewise, students also can communicate with teachers. Now the next one is engaging content delivery. Now that means the content delivery is going to be different. It is going to be different because compared to me having 45 minutes, that I want to use that 45 minutes to write the note on the board, I want to use that same 45 minutes to explain. It is one problem has gone out of it. That means the only thing I need to do is I need to know how to deliver it. I need to make sure that, okay, I need to know how to use my practical approach well, my starters well, and so on and so forth. I deliver it well. And because the content also is well delivered, so it aids in learning together. Then the last one here I also have is data-driven lessons. Now, as a teacher, if I see that, okay, this particular lesson, this particular data is not favorable for this particular lesson, I need to know what to do. I can study, okay, I can know the kind of learners I have along the line. Now, in all of this also, student definitely has value. There's values also for students. That means the students can access this lesson notes, they can access this content, they can access the platform anytime. So that means they can read anytime they like. Maybe it's in the middle of the night, anytime they like. Either they are in school or they are on vacation. Probably they are, maybe what a child is sick. The child doesn't necessarily have to miss the lesson. The child can follow through everything going on in the class, probably from the hospital or wherever the child is. Then personalized learning experience. For someone like me, I like to read, I like to learn at night. So I can learn at my pace and at my own time. Then continuous learning support, because everybody, the school administrator is seeing where the child is lacking. It can pitch in support. The teachers also is seeing where the child is learning. The teachers can pitch in support. Even the parents is seeing where the child is lacking, and the parents also can pitch in support. This would ensure that learning is actually achieved. Now, what are the benefits for schools? Improved learning outcomes, personalized learning experience, continued learning support. Benefits for students, personalized learning pathways for students, engaging and interactive lessons, and instant feedback. And also, that's the benefits for teachers, streamlined administrative tasks, because all of my staff, all of these tasks, they are well streamlined. I do not need to go back to them. I have it well taken care of. Access to digital tools and insights into students' performance. Now, let me add this also as benefits for school administrators. When Mrs. Gobino was talking the other time, she said one of the benefits she really enjoys the most is in using the platform for over 4 years is when teachers leave the school, they do not need to panic and start worrying about how do they get lesson content and everything. The lesson note is available on the platform already, so they do not need to panic. All of that is there. And now this takes us to our product walkthrough. Now we are going to be showing everything we've been saying at since. We are going to be showing you all of them. So please, if you have questions at this point, you can drop your questions. You can communicate with me. Let me know we are still together. Let me know we are still together on the platform, and we are still together live. So please drop your questions. Let me know we are still together. So let me just show you all of the things we've been talking about. How do they look like? What is it itself? If you can see my screen, kindly notify me you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, kindly notify me you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, Visions View, if you can see my screen, Morpholusha Obishaya, if you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, please notify me. All right, so while I'm still expecting your feedback, I'm going to just briefly show you what I am talking about. Now I am going to be logging in as a school administrator. And the reason why I am logging in as a school administrator, I'm going to show you. And I'm also going to be logging in as a teacher. So please, I'm still waiting for your feedback if you can see my screen. So I'll be assuming you can see my screen. So what all of these things I've been telling you, this is once you log into the platform, you log into the EdUTAMS platform, you're going to be seeing a dashboard, something like this. So all of these things are analytics for you to see through what is going on in your school. Now, directly from the platform, the dashboard, see what I am saying here. If you can see what I'm saying here, it's saying 2025, 2024, 2025 first term class engagements, quiz, Currently in my school, there is no quiz. Lesson notes, I have 29 lesson notes set already, and homework, 0. That means I can monitor everything going on in the school at a glance. Now, I want to set up, I want to upload a lesson note as a teacher. I want to upload a lesson note as a teacher. How do I do that? Now, the moment I log into the platform, into my EdUTAMS platform, I find my way down here to digital class. Once I click on digital class, I click on lesson notes. Now we'll start with lesson notes. Once I click on lesson notes here, I am going to be seeing a page like this. Now, remember that firstly, you must have assigned this particular teacher to a class. That means this teacher is teaching a particular class. So this teacher I'm working with here, Balabanji, is the teacher for GSS 1A Mathematics. Now, you can see from this point, he's saying, lesson notes content available from previous session. Do you want to import? Now, this was what we were discussing the other time that Mrs. Gobino was trying to explain, that when teachers leave the school, the lesson note still remains in the school. So if I do not want to rewrite all of those lesson notes and I want to manage my time, definitely all I need to do is I click on yes import. So it is going to import all of the lesson notes from the previous term down to this term, and lesson note is sorted out. But now I want to upload, let's assume I'm a new school, or let's say there is change in curriculum, and I want to upload my lesson content. So all I need to do here is, because obviously your school portal administrator would have set up your scheme of work. That is why you are going to be seeing the scheme of work. This is the teacher's name, and these are the weeks. Now, it's telling me the statistics. That means the students I have in my class is 0 currently, and the material I have is still 0. So how do I do this? I want to upload. The next thing I do is I come to this point here. Once I click on the action button in front of the week I want to upload the lesson notes for. I come here and you see no content added, and I click on add new content. The moment I click on add new content, it's giving me the topic I'm working with, and it's telling me to upload. That means you must have saved your document, your lesson notes on your device, either your mobile device, your iPad, or your laptop. And of course, you want to make sure you save them in Word format. I emphasize Word format. Now, let me select the document I want to work with. So I am selecting, remember I said Word format. So this is the Word format I am working with. And I click on open. Now, the moment I click on that, what I need to do is I click on add. As soon as I add, you can see success, operation successful. Now, you can see currently it is still inactive. This is where the school administrator's approval comes in. So because I'm a teacher, doesn't mean every of the lesson note I upload has to be accessible to my student without vetting, without proper review. Now, let me log in back as a school owner. As I said, the school owner, sorry, as an administrator. Now I'm also going to find my way down here to the digital class, click on lesson notes. Once I click on lesson notes, I find this particular class that I want to access. You can see I have so many subjects here that I want to review. Now, I've filtered and picked GSS 1A mathematics because Mr. Bala had already submitted a particular lesson note for review. Now you can see here it is inactive here. All I need to do here is, I've seen some is inactive. That means there is a particular lesson note that needs my review. So once I click on this action button here, I can view or manage the content. If I view and manage that content and I see that, okay, this content is fine by me, it is okay, it is what I want, it is in line with the curriculum and everything, I can see it, I can view everything I want to work with. You can see, oh, then that is fine. This content is fine by me. That is, remember, your approval matters. Now, once I'm done with that, all I need to do is I can now come back, and then I come back to that point and I click on approve. I come back to this point, then I click on approve. So once I click on approve, are you sure you want to perform this operation? Yes. accessible to every GSS 1A student, every GSS 1A mathematics student can access this lesson note. Now, that is how to access lesson note. I hope we are still together. Let me see if I'm still with you all. Yes, I'm still waiting for your comments. I hope we're still together. Now, that is how to access the lesson notes. Now, let's go to the live class. How do you access the live class? I come still under digital class. I click on live class. Now, live class is just like Google Meet. It's in that regard. Now you can see total live class that I've had here is just one. Now, how do I schedule a live classroom? I come to this part, I click on schedule live class. And once I click on schedule live class, it tells me what class do you want to schedule for, just as 1A, what subject, mathematics, what week, week 2. Sorry, it is still loading. You can see what topic do I want to work with. Let's say demonstrating algebra. Then set the class date. What date do I want to host that meeting? You can set the date to future date. Then what time exactly do you want it to be? You can choose any time you feel is fine. Then you click on save. Now, this particular live class, you can see it is scheduled already. All of your students are going to receive a notification that there is a live class for them to join. And all they need to do is they click on it and they've joined just like Google Meet. And you and them are having a virtual class, just like you and I are having one. Now, remember, I was also talking about video resources. I said it's in two forms. We have the recorded and we have the one that you can choose to find any link that suits you. Now, this is a recorded class. For instance, I'm a teacher and I have some lessons I recorded with my tripod and my phone, and I want it to be accessible to my students. All I need to do is I come to the digital class, I come to the recorded class, and I come down here, just the way you want to upload your lesson notes. Once I click on it, click on add new content. You can see, select the video file. What video file do I want to select? I click on it, or you can you can put the link here, maybe a YouTube link. Once you put it there, then you click on add. The moment you click on add, it makes it accessible to your students so they can watch that recorded video that you have given to them. And this is also another thing, e-resources. Under e-resources video tutorials. This is just few of the things I was telling you that, okay, you can add content. You can see what I'm having here now. These are the videos that we've added, that the teacher added the other time from the video, from the recorded class. So for the students, they can see it and view it as a video tutorial, e-resources. And this is what is going to, you can see this number line basic. If you click on it, it's taking you directly. You're going to be seeing YouTube and so on. So you understand what I'm saying. Then the last part also I'm going to be talking, okay, not the last part, sorry. The second to the last part is on quiz. Now remember I said quiz. Quiz is just like the CBT, giving you multiple choice. Multiple choice questions, just like objectives. While we have homework that this is what I want generally. Now, how do I do that? I come here, I click on create new quiz. Once I click on create new quiz, it asks me, what's the name of the quiz? I can say test. What's the duration? 5 minutes. The session, the subject, agricultural science, applicable to maybe returning students, maybe staff, maybe prospective. Prospective are students that have not yet been admitted into your school. Then you select, okay, what class, what category, you can select maybe to 3 classes so that they can have access to it and they do it at the same time. Then you can say, okay, category, returning students, then closing dates. Okay, so closing dates, Um, we can have a closing date. Okay, sorry, I'm just choosing that. Then enable quiz report. Do I want to see reports like analytics? Yes. If no, you can say no, but I will advise you choose yes. Then enable random questions. I mean, do you want the questions to scatter or they follow each other? Then you click on save. Now, since you've done this, you can now set up quiz for your school. Now, this is a quiz that has been set up already, but let's just look at how it looks like. Manage questions. Okay, sorry, this is the quiz we are trying to set up. Now, we want to add the questions to it. I click on manage questions, and I click on add new quiz. Now, this add new quiz here, you can see, do you want it to be multiple choice styles, multiple choice list, a true or false? So let's say true or false. Um, is Jesus Christ, sorry, that's the question that came to my mind. Christ, the Son of God, question mark. Then, is it true? You can see, is it true? Is it false? And that is because I chose a true or false. Now, if you want it to also be another one, you click on add new question and you say, okay, multiple choice styles, rainbow has dash colors. Okay, so A. A is, let's say, 5, B, 3, C, 7, D, 3, 4. Now, I want 7 to be the right answer. Definitely, I'll have to click on this. So the moment I click on this, you can see anywhere that has this green means that is the right answer. Then I click on submit. Now, the moment I click on done, these questions will be available for the student. Now, remember, I selected duration of 5 minutes. That is why there is a duration of 5 minutes here. So, our time is fast spent, and I would just take a couple of questions. If we have questions for me, um, if you have questions for me, we'll just take questions and would wrap up, because we promised that we won't be taking our time as we've already exhausted our 1 hour already. So let's have your question. Mofolusha Obisoya, do you have any question for me? Anybody, do you have any question for me? Let me even know you're with me. Let me know you're with me. Do you have any question for me? Vision's View, do you have any questions for me? Do we understand it perfectly well? Do we understand it perfectly well? Everything we've said so far. Okay, so I'm going to be assuming you really understood what I'm saying, even while still waiting for your question. And also, I think we'd have to wrap up then, since nobody's asking questions. But I'm going to be telling you also that if you have questions, if you have issues, we are always here. EdUTAMS is always here to guide you every step of the way. We have training sessions, onboarding sessions from Mondays 12 to 2, Wednesdays 12 to 2, and you can reach out to your customer support person to book an appointment. If you need any help, because you can reach out to your customer support person, they will definitely respond to you. And also, you can complain, you can submit a ticket via our help desk. That means www.edutams.net. And also, you can reach out to us on all of our social media platforms. EdUTAMS on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. You can reach us. You can reach out to us on all of our social media platforms, and also on your WhatsApp group. Definitely, you can reach out to us on your WhatsApp group. I'm still waiting for your questions, and if we don't have any questions, we promise we won't be taking more than 1 hour. If we don't have any questions, then we would call it a day. Then let's just warm up. Okay. So once again, my name is Quincy Ademola. and I'm the Digital Education Assistant Manager of EdUTAMS. And you know, in EdUTAMS, all we do is we digitize every school processes from the point of enrollment admissions to the point of graduation. Thank you so much for joining in our session because my technical team is already beeping me. Thank you so much for joining into our session. Once again, special thanks to everybody that joined our team that joined, and also my technical team. Thank you so much for also making all of it possible. So till I come your way again next time, next month, like we promised to be having our product education session twice monthly. Till I come your way again next month, which is going to be November, please do have a great. Oh, sorry. Till we come again for our next session, I apologize. We have another session this month. Till we come again next month, please do have a great and lovely day. Take care of yourself. Bye.